Hey everybody, welcome to Jey and Meka channel. Today we have a special guest, Bits of Whit. She's going to be helping us out on the channel today. Jey is not here, he's out today, so welcome Bits of Whit. You can follow her on Instagram at Bits of Whit. Any other platforms, Whit? Any other platforms you want to talk about?
That's the main. We're working on others.
Okay, so yeah, follow her on Instagram at Bits of Whit, and yeah, let's get started. We're here today to talk about episode 30 of Love Island, and yeah, let's go ahead and get started. The main thing, we'll go ahead and get this out the way. Sierra.
Yep, Sierra's gone.
The way that this show gets rid of people and taps them in the middle of the night is like, baby girl, you're going home. Yeah. And like, there's no more.
No, ticket is booked.
Yeah, there's no explanation. there's
to say no goodbyes and you're out of the house.
Right. Right.
They could not be bothered.
Yeah, I heard today though that you can, if you watch the episode back, you can hear Sierra yelling in the background when they're telling her basically she has to leave. Like, you can hear her screaming in the background, right? So I was like, oh, wow. So yeah, it's Sutton. And then I think people forget too. This is a game show too, technically. They win money. So that means that if they get kicked off the show, they lose their opportunity to get like this money or whatever. It's not just a relationship. Yeah. But I mean, what do you think about Sierra leaving, like the impact that it had on the cast and whatnot?
I think it had, from the looks of it, it had zero impact on pretty much anybody.
Right.
I feel like obviously they must have had some type of conversation with the cast prior to, because they very literally are not speaking Sarah's name in the house. Like, I think Nick, the most he said was, the person who I had the strongest connection with, I think he said it like 3 times. After that, she was never mentioned again.
Right. You know? And I'm like, are they shunned to silence? Like, what is that about? But, okay.
I don't know. I think, because, also, too, I think, like, on shows and stuff like that, the more you say names, it kind of, algorithms, I think they're just like, we don't want her dinging in any algorithm.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The name can't be said. But so, yeah, and I think that Nick basically seen the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. In a laundry.
Allegations that he did not like her.
Yeah, like, I just feel like I wasn't convinced of them. And I feel like up until the point where she got kicked off or had to leave, like, that's what the show was pushing. This narrative of Sierra and Nick, like, we're going to go for the win. And I just couldn't, it was something missing about them. And I couldn't figure out what that was.
Yeah, it wasn't giving. And I mean, they do the date, and the date is like as lackluster as possible.
Yeah.
Like, their conversation is as surface level as it could be.
Yes.
She goes back into the village. She's like, we had such a deep conversation, and we connected on such a deeper level. Oh my God.
I know what level y'all connected on, and it ain't in that conversation. It was not in that conversation, okay? But, like, speaking of communication, right? Like, we saw, like, remnants of how he communicated with some of the other ladies in the house, i.e. Alondria. The way that he would treat her, like I said, like a queen, like just, he would grab her hand to help her up the stairs, like very respectful, wipe the seat off for her before she sat down. Their conversations, throughout the show, and particularly the last episode, like had more substance. You know what I'm saying? It was like he was trying to find out more about who she was as a person. And I feel like she demands that respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just demands that respect. So.
She definitely does. And I think that he also is very receptive.
Yeah.
With her, the way she carries herself, and, how she approaches the relationship. I think he respects that.
Yeah.
And I think that they have this friendship that they both have been attracted to each other, obviously.
Right.
And I think they both have been in situations where they liked someone else or had something stronger with other people. But with that not there, again, with them, I feel like since they're not their typical types, you know,
Right.
I think it gives them the opportunity to come back to it, like explore the actual relationship, like personality, if it could work in that way. So.
Right. Think about like how many times Sierra tried to ask Nick, are they closed off? And he was not giving her that. Like before Casa Amor, they had slept together, you know, and then the Casa Amor episode happens. And, you know, she's thinking, oh, they slept together, that's going to seal the deal. You know what I'm saying? And he's kind of like, no, he still wants to be open. The fact that he has been coupled up with Alondria twice, he could always say no. And let's talk about the fact that he also could have left when Sierra left if he really wanted to.
Like, he could have left. This is the last week of the show. Just
right. You ain't about to miss out on nothing. You know, you could go. But he didn't. So I think that that's telling, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's very telling. And too, again, he just seems like a different person when he's with Olenka.
He does.
Regardless of whatever, I think that they naturally do, like, gravitate towards each other, make each other laugh, feel like comfortable with each other.
Right.
Know? And so, I mean, hey, I like it. I love it.
I do too. I'm
definitely a stan. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
You know?
Right. What else? Do you think the other cast members?
I mean, the only other thing that popped in that episode, if we're honest, is Amaya's choice, which was pretty obvious. You know,
that was so obvious.
Zach, boy, how you in one episode you literally told her, "I let you kiss me. I didn't want to kiss you."
Right.
Okay. Then you find out America loves Amaya.
Right.
And you're kissing her in the ball pit.
That was so ick to me. Like,
it was very ick.
The way he was like you said, like when he first met Amaya, she's talking to him about like some of the things that she's questioned about herself because of the people she's met in the house, you know, like her saying babe and her being affectionate and stuff, you know, and she's trying to explain to him, this is who I am. And he's like, oh, I love that. You know, all this stuff, like you said. And then given the opportunity to kind of stand up for her, and instead of doing that, he decides to jump on the bandwagon with everybody and talk trash about her and make her feel worse. And all of a sudden he's like, I don't know, grossed out or just like uncomfortable with her kissing him or whatever. And I just thought that was crazy. And then like you said, like they go to this game and he lays one on her, and I honestly, she better than me because I would have been mad. Like, don't kiss me. Yeah, like
absolutely not.
I wouldn't have been with that. Like, you're not about to sit here and then she still, I believe they went and had a conversation and she was still talking about she was interested in him. You know?
I think, if I'm honest, Amaya was just placating them.
Yeah.
I think she was just, she knew she was going to do Brian.
Yeah.
It was not, the way they was making out.
Yeah.
And then he was telling her all the things. She was going to choose Brian. She wasn't going to choose Nick number 2. Nor Zach.
Right. Period. And I think that they're a good match. Brian and her are a good match.
I think that Brian tried to shoot his shot for like a second in Casa Amor.
Right.
But it didn't land at that time. You know? So I'm glad that they have another opportunity because I think they match.
Yeah.
Their personalities are very balanced.
I think so. And then, like, just culturally, like, they have a lot in common, like, family-wise, all that kind of stuff. It just kind of works. You know what I mean? Like, he can appreciate the things that other people can't because he even said it. Like, he was the one dude that stood up for her at that fire pit, was like, look, I'm Puerto Rican. That's how we talk. Like, you know.
And this is before knowing America's favorite, any of that. So
right.
That's where
right.
Like, I can appreciate him for that.
I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, that pretty much was, that episode is a very kind of like lackluster episode. I think part of the reason why is because they had to rush to send Sierra home. So they probably had to rearrange some things with that episode. But yeah, like as far as like Pepe and Iris, they were developing into something stronger. I like them together. I feel like Iris is a more sophisticated version of Hannah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even think they look alike, but if you want to compare them, I feel like she's just a little bit more mature and sophisticated.
And I think that Hannah would be Pepe's type, younger Pepe.
Yeah.
Iris would be older Pepe's type.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's giving wife 1, wife 2.
Yeah. It is. It totally is.
But I definitely see that of course, we know he has a type. Yes, very obvious.
Yes, he has a type.
But I think that with Iris, she has a very chill demeanor. I think she's more down to earth. She's more like I think she mentioned at one point she has maybe had like 3 or 4 boyfriends total. Like,
yeah,
she's very that good girl, down to earth, gonna keep loyal.
Right.
Loyal is the word.
Right.
Loyal,
mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think he really likes that.
Yeah, I think he does too. Clark and Taylor. They're I'm not a fan of them because I don't like the way he did things, which kind of makes it a little bit unfair to Clark.
Yeah.
But they seem to be trucking along. He's definitely a different person with Clark, just like we were talking about Nick with Alondria. That is not the same Taylor. I'm sorry. Like, he's super affectionate with Clark, you know.
Super affectionate. He's
flirty.
All about her.
Yeah.
Like, he shows initiative. Like, that's what he was looking for, apparently. And she's very much the opposite of Alondria. So,
right.
Say what you want. I think the thing that puts just the bad taste in my mouth is the